What's going on, guys? Next day here, and I'm gonna go ahead and cover the Grand National from this past weekend. So a little backstory on the car. We bought this car in 1998. I was 8 years old, and the guy had claimed that it was an 11-second car back in the day, and we got it, and I think it ran like 1320s. And it went to a shop where we had Boyd Coddington wheels on the car. All four wheels and tires got stolen off it. They broke into the trunk and they stole all the stuff that we had in the trunk out of it, and then the shop where it was sitting, whenever all that stuff got stolen, it ended up, we had GN1 aluminum heads on it, and that guy stole our heads, put different heads on the car, and just was an absolute terrible experience whenever I was really young, and my dad was trying to grow his business, so we really didn't have time to really put a whole lot of effort into making the car good, and we were really relying on somebody else to help us out, and this guy absolutely screwed us. So we ended up taking it to a different shop in New Jersey, and that guy was just as bad. I mean, we didn't really have anything stolen, but the car would not make over 17 pounds of boost, and the guy claims, oh, you just need a new converter, like that'll fix it all, it'll make plenty of power. So he had it for a couple months, and we went and got it from him, brought it back, exact same issue. It would not make over 17 pounds of boost no matter what you did. You could pinch the wastegate shut, it would not go over 17 pounds. So long story short, it ended up being the intercooler was bad on it. So we put a front mount intercooler on it, and fast forward a whole bunch of years, we've had a couple other local shops trying to help us out and haven't been able to do it. They've had the car for years on end. Seriously, these two shops had the car combined for probably 4 or 5 or 6 years. And the car just never worked. We've been through 4 or 5, I think this is our 5th motor that we've had in this car. And just could never get the thing to work. It just would not, it was always something. It was always breaking, it'd have an issue, it'd catch on fire. The last shop that it was at, the motor backfired and it caught the underside of the hood on fire. So just terrible luck. And then we stumbled upon Brian Lorenz at Lorenz Racing and Performance in West Salem, Ohio. And this guy is the true godsend of Grand Nationals. He is so meticulous that his shop is cleaner than my kitchen. I mean, you could seriously eat off the floor of this place. It is that nice. So you need to take a look at him if you guys have Grand Nationals or any Grand National needs. Brian Lorenz at Lorenz Racing and Performance in West Salem, Ohio. He absolutely transformed this car into what it is today, and that is nothing short of a monster. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dump all the clips in here at the end. I just wanted to give some backstory. My dad was learning how to try and drive this thing the whole day. This was the first time the car's been out with the new combo, and we really did not know what to expect out of it. We hadn't driven it with the new setup. It has a non-lockup converter, so it spools really fast and just kind of screams the whole way down the track. And this is all on wastegate. Every single one of these passes on wastegate, 21 pounds of boost. So it made 780 wheel horsepower and over 1,000 foot-pounds of torque on 31 pounds on the boost controller. And we never even tapped into that at all. So this is all wastegate. The best 60 foot we cut was, I think, a 156, and Brian had the car to the track prior, and he cut, I think, like a 142 or maybe a high 130 with it off the trans brake, and we just couldn't make it happen. Dad was having issues with his foot coming off the pedal, so just a rowdy car that my dad was trying to learn how to drive all through the day, and we realized, I guess, that we need to do some better safety stuff. We need to get a seat that doesn't rock so much. The stock seat is just wallered out, and Dad was having issues where, you know, the whole seat would rock back, and it would rock him back off the pedals. There's one pass that you can see that's really ugly. He ends up, the car launches so hard, it pulls the wheels, and then whenever it launched, he grabbed the shifter. So you activate the trans brake by putting the shifter into first, and then slamming it up into drive. And that's how you activate the trans brake is first gear, and then you shove it up to put it into gear. And he came off the brake, and the car hit so hard that his foot came off the pedal and he grabbed the shifter and put it back into the trans brake, and then it dead stopped and he fell into the steering wheel. So it was rough. I mean, my dad's 63 years old and this thing just beat him up. So anyways, enjoy these clips of this car. I hope you guys enjoyed this backstory. It's just been an absolute nightmare, and to see it running the way that it was this weekend and getting to see my dad enjoy it and me enjoy it and just be out racing it after all these years and it working the way that it did was just the best feeling. So super, super awesome weekend. I can't wait until we can get more seat time in this thing, do a couple more upgrades. The ignition system needs updated. It's kind of old and it's blowing the spark out on the, I think it's blowing the spark out because it doesn't have enough ignition system to keep everything hot under any higher boost than 31 pounds. So that's kind of the next step for the car. Harnesses, it needs harnesses. Can't be driving a G-body doing 150 mile an hour in the quarter mile and not have a harness and rely on the factory seat belts. And it needs a seat. And then it's also probably going to need better brakes to really slow this thing down from the quarter mile trap speeds we're trying to go. So anyways, I might have been rambling, but you guys need to hear the backstory. And so here's all the clips from today, or from Saturday at Dragway 42. We had a blast. So comment, like, subscribe, and thanks.
Well, that was disgusting.
.1058 at 132.